So we started selling the Alcatel-Lucent. The first couple of ones were very small. They went in easily. Customers seemed to like them. And we realized when we were putting together proposals that we could actually do pretty well with the Alcatel-Lucent, even scaling up into some larger environments. We have sold quite a bit of Alcatel-Lucent and not just small ones. I think because it's so easy to do a converged environment, so we have a lot of customers that maybe have some old wiring that they can't put an IP phone system in, yet they want to have a couple remote offices or home offices or things like that. And it's easy to have a mixture of IP and digital phones, and since the phones look the same and behave the same, the users really don't have to learn two different things. There is no substantial cost difference between the IP phones and the digital phones, so it really gives you flexibility in what you want to choose. So when we go in and look at an environment, if they've got a fairly sophisticated IP infrastructure, then we'll probably quote all IP phones. If they've got old switching and there's no PoE and their wiring is old and and they're not really interested in investing in a lot of new wiring, then we'll sell them a digital system. So that's made it fairly easy. The new phones, the premium desk phones, customers seem to like them. It does voicemail to email really well and easily, so customers like that. It seems to be kind of a standard feature that everybody wants. It's a real scalable system, so if you need to be competitive, if there's a lot of price pressures on the low end, you can start off with a compact and just use some IP phones and keep the voicemail small and get in the door at a pretty reasonable price. Or on the other end, if you've got something where you're competing on a higher level, you can use some of the higher end phones and some more software and compete there as well. We try to do, to the best of our ability, application sales. So when we go in and meet with a client, we talk about ways we can improve their business, either lowering cost, improving productivity, or improving customer service. The ones that we win, we're usually not the lowest price, so it's not price. It's probably that we have discovered something that we're going to do for the customer, even if it's something that any other vendor could do. We're the ones that figured it out. I think it's more, it's a good tool that gives you a lot of flexibility, and I certainly think the name helps. It's a little interesting coming off of selling a Watsu and Altigen. You say Alcatel-Lucent, and it just, you don't have to explain anything. The telephones are a little bit different because they behave more like a PBX phone. So on the small end, you just have to be careful. You have to make sure that you let the customer know that, that they're going to have an interactive display that they need to work with. So I just try to get ahead of it. So when you're trying to get buy-in from the customer, it's usually so after we've decided that the phone system is going to that the customer is going to buy a phone system from us, after the customer has decided, then we do what's called a design session, where we talk about how things are going to be programmed and how we're going to lay things out, and that way we go into it knowing what we have to do. And I try to make sure that everybody I work with understands that there's going to be an experience difference in the way the telephone works. And then you upplay the positive and you downplay the negative, and it usually works out fine. Mostly keep an open mind. The thing that helped us a lot was that the technicians that we had working on it seemed enthusiastic to take on a new challenge. And I think that the most important thing was that everybody kind of kept an open mind about it and didn't get bogged down in the small things that it didn't do and tried to focus more on the things that it could do. You got to be enthusiastic about it, I think. We had started to run some quotes side by side. I would, if I had a 15 phone application and it looked to me like it could be serviced by either. I would, I'd start working on both quotes, and I was like, that's interesting. Really, Alcatel-Lucent actually comes out a little bit less. And because of the premium desk phones, which customers seem to really like, I would lead with that. That's the one we would propose. Our first couple of customers were very basic applications, real simple stuff. So actually the first one was a church. It had 2 lines and 5 phones and 1 person who used the phone. So, it didn't matter that I didn't know how it worked because I just had to stay 1 step ahead of that person. But, now we've done some very busy offices, and I've trained a bunch of people, and, I guess you just got to stay 1 step ahead of the customer, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, we made that decision based on needing a product that it wasn't being met, and it grew from there. And another positive thing, it has proven to be reliable.